Annie will be joining us shortly. There he is.
Welcome to Content Creators Connect. Here, we're all about encouraging the three C's: connecting with others via video, content development that builds your personal brand, and creators sharing their experiences despite their
Despite their
distance.
distance.
And for those of you that are joining us for the very first time, welcome. And why don't we get to know our C3 crew? Myself, I am Kevin, also known as Classic Mac to my online community, and I love to find low cost ways of streaming. So if you are interested, go back to some of our previous videos and check it out. And next to me is, make sure I'm pointing to the right way there, is Miss DSpence, also known as Dori, who uses her superpowers to install confidence around her and helping others become experts in their own adventures. Then, way over on the far side, is Manny, also known as Coach Manny, who catches us up with the wonderful world of social media marketing. And he loves to pursue his online passion of streaming true crime.
Woo woo!
Yeah,
So, Dory, I'd love to know for today's topic why you settled on this current arrangement and what advice do you have for others that are contemplating setting up their first studio or doing a makeover?
Well, Kevin, thank you for asking that. I am really excited. So, there's several things in this world that I get passionate about, and designing things is one of them. But I have to say one thing. I suffer severely from OCD and attention problems, and so I can guarantee you that my studio setup does not remain stagnant for a very long. I, as a matter of fact, was changing stuff around. You guessed it, today. So the current setup I have is probably, I would say, the most efficient I've developed so far. And it's 100% a necessity for me to make sure that my studio is engaging, it is bright, but it is also productive because I spend so much time up here doing a multitude of things. I utilize my desk for recording video. I use it for live streams. I also use it for photo and video editing. And I also, believe it or not, use it for my 9 to 5, which is grading projects and writing lesson plans. So it's really important for me that the setup that you guys are going to see tonight transitions very easily from using a camera to then being able to pull my monitors in and strictly use it for productivity purposes. So the only thing that my studio does not have is a sit stand desk. And I desperately would love to have one, but you guys are going to see the shape of my room and the makeup of my room when I start sharing as to why I can't do that. But all of that being said, Manny, I would love to hear. I know we've talked about this a lot, so I'm really excited to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what types of things have you taken into account when you're kind of developing your own recording space?
I this tour through there. Am I okay? Do you guys see me okay?
Yep, you glitched for a
Yeah.
second, but you're
Okay.
good.
Yeah. I'm excited about seeing your tour because I have to upgrade my tour. Or should I say my background? Like if we were doing weeks of sharing our studio space and doing a tour, I wouldn't be signing up for that one. Because I know that I still need to improve at least my background. What I do love is my studio space. I love the space that I have. I have so much space. One side of my office has a rabbit on the other side. I got that much space. And but I still have my 3 monitors. I have my lighting, a lot of lighting in front, a lot of lighting on the sides. Got a lot of comfortable space to do everything. The only upgrade that I need, and this is why I'm so excited about it, is I don't want to always have a green screen as my background. So that's why I love your guys' colors, your themes. And so having this studio tour, when I was taken into consideration about my recording space is comfort. I've had backgrounds, but I just couldn't find my comfort. And so that's where it's like, if I'm going to spend a lot of time in my recording space and and I do lives galore. Like, I probably, with this live here, I easily do probably 5, 6 lives a week. And so I want to have comfort in my space so that I look forward to getting up and going into that space and boom, diving into it and having everything in my comfort where I feel like I have a great office. I absolutely love it. So those are the things that I was really taking in, is like, do I have enough space to have everything and be comfortable, not feel closed in and have a bunch of stuff. So that was something that I was taking into consideration, is comfort, having that space, being able to work without that stress of, oh my gosh. But Kevin, what about you? What do you take into consideration when you were doing your studio?
uh, one number one thing, like both of you have said, space. It's like if you happen to have a bit of space to put some distance between you and the camera, that can make for some great backgrounds, some great angles, some great effects when you are designing your studio. But if you're also cramped for space, there are so many things that you can do as well. And there is one one person that I follow on YouTube that he basically has a small bedroom, but he has a desk that he just has on wheels and mounts his camera and all his equipment on there, and then
Mm,
does just turns
smart.
it around for different angles. It's like, you have one space, but you can have three different shots. And he does straight on videos. And he actually, what's really interesting is he has a window in his bedroom and he actually blacks that out and covers it. But he also puts a light up in his far corner to indicate that, hey, there is sunlight coming through, and sort of replicates and sort of deceives you in that he actually has sunshine coming in. So using those different types of ideas and like doing studio tours of all these other people as well. So I am excited to see what kind of things Dory has in terms of her setup, her background, what she has in front of her, so she can be very efficient in her streaming and her work environment.
I had a hiccup there for a brief second, and I was like, and nothing came out of my mouth, which is so rare, so incredibly rare. Um, so, if this is the type of content you would like to see more, please consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell, so then that way you get notified whenever we go live, which, P.S., is a brand new day. Sunday evenings, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain.
Yeah. That
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
was
All right.
excellent.
Oh, man, man, man. Okay. So, y'all, I am so incredibly excited about sharing with you tonight all of the goodies that I have in my room. So, I'm going to offer up some options for you gentlemen in terms of where you would like me to start. So I can start with my lights, which I can cover the lights on my desk area as well as all my goodies back there. I could talk about video. I can talk about audio, and then I can talk about the extras. So you guys tell me, lights, video, audio, extras.
I'm
I'm
actually
good with
very
lights.
interested. I was going to say, I'm a camera guy, so I would love to see what different angles and different types of cameras that you have as well.
Okay.
So,
Well, to be fair, Manny got his answer out first. So we're going to go lights first. But as part of that, you're actually going to see one of my fun new cameras in action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the scene here. And basically what you guys are seeing is the background of my room. And if I can zoom in, this camera that I'm using right here is called the Insta360. And it will allow you to program different different positions, different settings, different zoom angles. And what I did was I focused in on my back wall here. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. And let's talk about some fun lights. We'll go top down. So my play button that I have on my back wall is a Nanoleaf kit. Now, Nanoleaf has been out for quite some time, and I've had these panels forever. Love them. They sync up really well, but I will say this. Let me just say that every other light that I have in my studio is by Govee. I love Govee lights, and Govee actually has created panel lights very similar to my Nanoleaf. So if there is a situation where, God forbid, these lights ever tank and they die eventually, I will replace them with Govee. They were far too expensive to consider changing now, but I will say that the Nanoleaf has done right by me as well. You can set up different scenes and so on and so forth. So with the Nanoleaf, this is the setting that I usually have for our C3 streams. I have different color configurations for my Tech Zero to Hero, my Role Player Role, which is my D&D channel. So there are various options with that. You can also get it to dance to music, which I love. So the triangle is my Nanoleaf. Now, as I said, everything else back here is Govee. This lamp over here in the corner is a Govee pole lamp. You can section it off. You can also get it to move to music. You can create scenes where you have the lights dance on their own. I just have it set up with our standard lights, the colors of the C3 team. And then as we move down, let me zoom in on my my cubbies here. So I had to get really creative with these lights, and I'm going to explain why. The light that you see illuminating my axe on the very top of the shelf is actually a set of Govee fixture lights, and they come as a set of 4, but they are connected together. They are wired together. So what I actually did was, thank God for hiding cables behind shelves, because if you could see the rat's nest back there, I would be embarrassed. This light here that's shining the green on my axe is also shining the blue in the second cubby on the left where my dragonfly and my Wally Sensi is. It's illuminating the blue in the R2D2 cubby. And it's actually illuminating the purple behind my DeVoom pixel art.
very cool.
So yeah, I figured out a way to connect them together and hide the cables. So that is one set of lights that I bought that were able to light up 4 different spaces in my cubbies. The other lights that I have behind Snoopy, top left, Spider Man and Groot, top right, and Grogu, center red. They are they look like bowl lights from Govee. They're called table lamps, but they look like a dish. And I like that because you can prop them up or you can set them flat, depending on how you want the light to kind of shine. So those are separate pieces in each of those. And then on the very bottom, you'll notice that my Beatles area is actually not lit up. That is just my Beatles lunch pail that my hubby got me and some of my favorite books. And then over here on the right is a set of Govee stick lights. And I have links to everything on my site. I can post in the comments after we get done streaming, so you guys can actually see all of these products. And then behind Stitch on the left, that is a set of lights. So again, I got creative with the cabling, and actually what I did was I ran the cable into the cubby where the Beatles lunch pail is, and I ran it over into the other one. So cables hidden. I feel successful. So again, if you zoom out, one of the things that I really want to stress when you're building your studio is do things that make you feel comfortable in your space. So before I step away from the back wall, I want to point out the other things that I have here that just speak to my personality. I have my nerd pillow, which I mean, come on, that speaks volumes. I've got my minions, that's my D&D axe that my husband got me. And I've got Chewbacca, another Grogu. All of these things speak to my personality. And so when I am on camera and you can see my background, that gives off a little bit of just who I am. So, in addition to the lights, it's also about placing things in your studio that give you the warm fuzzies, make you smile, and make your audience get to know you a little bit more. And so, I'm going to pause for a second and offer up, do you guys have any comments or questions about anything on my back wall?
I
How
really
many
enjoy
different?
Oh, Kevin.
Sorry. Yeah.
say I do enjoy how you're hiding all those cables for all those lights. Like even though it's right in behind the cubby,
Yep.
is actually don't see any cables like coming down from the nanoleaf down and hiding in behind. You've done a really good job of, I guess, blocking that cable from actually going down the wall, and also the lights that you have in those cubbies. Yeah, absolutely no cable management is a peeve of mine. So to see you being able to hide it so successfully, it's like kudos to you.
Yeah, it was a struggle. It certainly was a struggle. Manny, what about you?
Behind the cubby hole, do you have a multiple lights or just like one strip going through or multiple strips going through?
So each of those cubbies back there have a separate light sitting in it. Hang on, I'm gonna step away from my desk for a second.
Okay.
Oh, we're getting a live demo here of exactly what she's going to, how she is. There we go. She's actually
Gotcha. Okay.
bringing one out.
It might help if I were still focused on the back wall. So
There we go.
now you can see all my cables.
That you hid so well. Good job. Oh, wow.
And just out of curiosity, Dory, while you're there, you said that you put one strip of light, sort of, I guess it's the middle top, and then the two side ones. That's all one set.
Mhm.
Um, is it the shelving unit that you have? Is it or no back on it for them to be able to sit there, or did you have to drill holes through to feed it through?
So basically, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
So basically, what I did was when I built those shelves, those are Target shelves. They were like, I think maybe $23 a piece. Um, I originally had the backs on all of them. And what I did was I took the back off of the center shelf. So the center shelf is completely open, which is why you can just barely make out a teeny tiny little cable showing right there. Um, what I did with the side ones, however, was I left the backs on them because I wanted the light to really reflect off of the back as well as the sides of the cubby. And so what I did was I actually just ran the cable. I peeled the back off just a little bit. I ran the cable through it and then I put the back, I reattached the back. Cuz that's like it's literally like that cheapy paper like cardboard that goes on the back of it. So,
Yeah, I was just curious
That
because
was
of the
that's
way it
awesome.
actually. I was curious because of the reflection. It's like, yeah, that really lit up the entire cube.
yeah.
So yeah, I was curious whether it was okay. You have a white cabinet, but do you also have a white wall, or how is it actually doing that reflection?
Well, the wall itself in my studio here, it was recommended that you paint it with a flat paint. So if you're going to paint your space, pick a color that is fairly neutral. So I picked something that was like a bluish gray, but it had enough of a color pop to still say like, hey, this is my personality. But it is a flat paint so that when you have lights reflecting off of it, you're not going to get any sheen back. You're going to just get the color being absorbed into the wall. So excellent questions so far. I love it. We're going to stay on the lighting. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shift to another camera, my behind the scenes camera. And I'm so sorry, guys. I don't have you on screen tonight with this. I hope that's okay. Um, I want to show you guys. I actually have three lights here in the front. So the two lights I have on either side of me here are Elgato lights, and they are the key light airs. They're a square light. They can be controlled with the Elgato app. I can control it with my Elgato Stream Deck, which I'm going to talk to you guys about in a little bit. But you can change the temperature, you can change the brightness, the intensity, a lot of things. So I have using those as fill lights. And then up above me, I have, let me move my camera up. Hello, movie magic. Um, and that center light up there is an Elgato key light. Now that one is much larger. It throws a lot more light, and that is what I use as my main light. Now, a couple things with light placement. 3-point lighting is great. If you have one light, make sure that it is positioned directly in front of you and it's big enough so that it kind of fills out the side of your face. So a lot of times people, if they're using a single light, they'll use like a ring light so that it kind of surrounds them. 3-point lighting is a main light and then two fill lights. I actually have what's called 4-point lighting. So what you can see is, I think you can actually see the top of my hair is lit up here. Okay. That's called a hair light. And what that does is that actually helps separate you from your background. It creates more definition so that your camera can find you easier and does not try to focus you in with your background. And that helps, Manny, even for green screens. Because one of the keys with green screens, I used to use a green screen. Um, One of the keys with green screen is making sure that you are separated from your backdrop, and doing that, you lighting yourself from behind will help do that. Now, I want to show you guys a trick. I'm so very proud of this hack. I cannot even tell you. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn on my camera. And before I switch over to it, I'm going to just make sure that it is, yep, okay. We're going to have a little inception moment here for a second because be prepared, guys, you're coming back on camera. Okay, so you are looking at my ceiling. And I apologize that I'm just using my raw camera, but it was kind of just last minute I decided to do this. So there again is my main light. And then listen, people will tell you to buy these really expensive mounting poles. There's a company out there. It's a great company. I am not dissing them at all. It's called Veripole. It's like $200 to buy a single mounting pole. This, my friends, is a tension rod that I bought off Amazon for $23. So, what I'm going to do is let me just kind of show you. So, I have my main light attached to it, and then it runs behind me where I have my hair light, and I also have my behind the scenes camera mounted from that tension rod. Can you guys see that?
Did you say you had one in the front and one over your head?
I have one pole. Hang on. This might be easier. There we go. I have one pole, and that pole runs the length over my head.
Because
So,
I have something very
yeah.
similar, but I end up
So,
having two poles where they intersect. So I have the one mounting in front of me to hold the equipment, as well as the one above for those lights.
okay.
So very, very, very similar concept, but
Now, I did purchase another pole because I don't know if you noticed, but like this is where I'm sitting, and the pole is actually over here so that it can attach to this really short wall. Um, I bought another pole that is longer that I can actually attach so that the pole runs perfectly over the center of my head and over the center of my camera, so that my light will be moved over, my hair light will be moved over, um, but that's still in the box because I'm not gonna fix something that's not broken yet. So plus time management, people. Time management. It's a thing. I don't have it. I get lost for hours up here. Um, so that basically it contains all of the lights that I have here in the studio, both my fun ones on the background as well as my actual productive lights that I have up here in the front. So I work with 4-point lighting, a main, two fills, and then my hair light behind me. So do you guys have any questions regarding like my main lights before I move on?
Did you say you use the tension rod to hold your hair light up?
Right. So my tension rod, hang on. I'm going to get it closer.
Oh, wow. Okay. Gotcha.
So
Oh,
can you see the
okay.
clamps?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
And the beautiful thing about that is that no one sees it until I share it.
yeah.
Um, So yeah,
So I
all of
did have a question for you,
go ahead, Kevin.
Dory. With
Yep.
regards to your lighting, have you always done 4-point lighting, or have you sort of played around going with like just one main light and then going to two and then going to three and then to four?
You know, I'm actually glad you asked that, Kevin, because I think now is a great time to make a point that I want to make sure that everybody walks away with, and that's this. You Everybody starts somewhere. And this is not where I started. I started with one single ring light um, mounted in front of me. I had an 18-inch ring light so that light, I knew the light had to splash all the way around my face. And I had a green screen. And I had actually that little hair light that you see up there. That is a cheap set of 3 lights that I got. No, I'm sorry, 4 lights that I got off Amazon a really long time ago. They're not automated. I'll show you another hack in just a second. But I used all 3, yeah, there were only 3, all 3 of those to light the green screen behind me. So I used one ring light on me, and then all the other lights I had on the floor pointed at the green screen out of frame to really light that up. Um, but honestly, like you can even get a light that mounts on your phone. If you are using your phone to stream, you can get a little ring light that attaches to the top of your phone. Use that. If it's between that and not streaming, put that on your phone and push the button. Oh, one other hack I'll show you guys. So remember I just mentioned that light is that cheapie from Amazon I got? Well, if you watch,
I love the tape job all the way around.
it's Velcro in case I need to remove it. But do you see that button above my door?
That's the on
Yep.
off.
Yeah, that's the on off button because that's not a smart light. So it's literally you have to push the button to turn it on and off. So instead of letting equipment go to waste, I figured out a way to use it. So when I walk in, it's almost like when I used to play basketball and I used to tap the roof of the locker room on my way out to play. I just reach up and push the button, and my hair light comes on before anything else in my room. Um,
I'd love to offer you a hack for that if you wanted to not actually manual, but
I
this
don't.
is
No, it doesn't work. I've tried hacks. It doesn't respond. It doesn't respond unless you push the button. Trust me, I've tried.
okay.
Um, but okay. So those are my lights. Now let's talk cameras for a few minutes because this one's going to be kind of a short and sweet conversation. Um, I'm going to go back to my behind the scenes here. Okay, so my main camera is my um, Sony A6400 that I have in my teleprompter. Okay. Um, I have the Sigma 16 millimeter lens. And what you can see, I'm going to show you guys in just a second what my room will look like if I did not do any cropping at all to my camera. So you guys should be looking at a black screen right now. Is that correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. So if I bring in my camera, and I bring in, okay. So this is my room using the 16 millimeter without any zooming, cropping, or anything else. Now, remember how I said I would have loved to have a sit-stand desk? This is why. This weird house that I live in here is why I can't have a sit-stand desk. Because if I were to raise myself up, that is what would be showing in frame above my head, and I have no way to crop it out. So I just wanted to share with you guys again the magic of software and other things and how it can um, help you look like you have a large professional studio. This is a refurbished bedroom that has all sorts of wackadoo angles in it that I make work for me. So again, my main camera, Sony's A6400 with the 16 millimeter Sigma lens, is behind my glass. And then this camera right here that you see is a Logitech Brio webcam. I love the Logitech webcams. They are amazing. I use this for an overhead shot. The camera that you're currently looking through, the behind the scenes camera, is another Logitech Brio that I have mounted on that shower curtain above my head. And lastly is my new Insta 360 camera. This thing is amazing. I have set different positions in the camera, and with the click of a button, I can take myself to those different scenes. So I'm going to click on this, and you should see me and all of my toppers behind me over here. Snap. Snap. I looked at the wrong camera. I forgot to talk about these little doodads. These little block lights, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. There's actually a couple on sale right now. I'll make sure I post the links for them. But there's a Cyber Monday sale that they're like, I think $24 a piece. And there's an app that's included with them, which is awesome. I use those for accent lighting all over the place. They're
What
battery
is the brand of
operated.
it?
The one that's on sale is Neewer. The Neewer SL80 is the one that's on sale. I have a couple different brands before I settled on the Neewer because of the app functionality. So we have the Insta 360 again, me. I'm thinking of changing that and putting it on the other side because I don't normally look this way, which is, I don't know. And then we have my smoke cam, which is my kitty cat cam. And he's currently not in here, thankfully, because he'd be scratching at everything. And then we have another view because he loves to lay right here on my table. So I have a secondary view of him here. And then there is a downward view, which is amazing. This thing has an overhead view. So you can see part of my Rodecaster, which is going to be one of the main things with my audio. And then lastly, I have that back wall view that I already showed you guys. And it's literally just clicking a button and moving to preset positions with that camera. And then let me just show you. This is my overhead view. And I think I have it set. I think I have a filter set on it so that it is, I think I have a LUT put on there so it's black and white. But this is amazing because I can park a piece of technology here and then I can kind of show it off to my audience. And it's positioned so that it's right in front of me within reach. Anything that I do is in frame here, and that's with the Logitech camera. So any questions, guys, on the video gear? We'll go Kevin first so that we...
The Insta 360 that you have mounted, where did you say that you actually had it mounted up in relation to your, I guess, your Logitech overhead cam?
So that is the 360 right there.
Oh, right on the edge of your monitor.
Yep.
That's a
And
neat way to mount it.
And you have it has a hole in the bottom as well for a threaded hole to mount it on a stand as well. And then the Logitech is mounted right there.
Very cool.
Yep. Manny, how about you? Anything?
What arms are you holding the Logitech Brio?
So these mounts that I have here actually came with, well, maybe they didn't come with, maybe I ordered them as extensions from Elgato. When I ordered all of my lights, they also offer a set of mounting arms. So I believe I ordered those because it has the clamps on the end of them. And it has the threaded stud on the end of it as well. So it's literally just screwing something on and attaching it to
Mm,
something.
gotcha.
Yeah. Um, are we good to move to audio?
Yep.
All right, sweet. Are we doing okay on time? I'm not like taking forever here, am I?
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay, okay. Um, so with the audio, this is my pride and joy. This is my Shure Super 55. I got this microphone because, well, honestly, it just screamed my personality. It looked like
Yes.
Elvis. It looked like Elvis, and I'm like, damn, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I have to own that microphone. Um, I will tell you that microphone placement has been the bane of my existence. It is a forever struggle for me because, as I mentioned, I want to be able to use my desk for productivity too. And a lot of times I'm doing tech demonstrations, which require the use of my mouse, the use of my keyboard, and I need to get this up and out of the way. So I'm thinking of moving it to this side so that the arm is nowhere near, because I'm right handed. Um, but this microphone, I love it. It is connected to my Rodecaster Pro, which is not that view. It is this view. Um, all of my audio comes through here. As you can see, my mic is picking up, and then as the guys speak, you'll see their audio meters come through because I have Ecamm. Everything comes through here. My Discord for my Dungeons and Dragons, everything comes through here. I can even do sound effects and voice mods on the keypads here, which I will not do tonight. Um,
Just a
but
quick question for you about your Elvis microphone.
go ahead.
Uh, do you have that just sitting on your desk, or is it mounted on an arm that can swing back and forth?
It's mounted on an arm. And I will tell you that I actually just upgraded my mic arm. It's the Avermedia mic arm. It's, I had the Elgato low profile, which is an amazing mic arm. The only problem for me is that I have a deep desk and this one is longer than the Elgato and it allows you to put it into more positions. So this elbow here will allow you to kind of turn it front, back, this way, that way. Same thing with this elbow. You've got full 360 turns, and when fully extended, it is super duper long. Um, but yeah, this mic arm I am 100% in love with. And then
Nice.
I have my in-ear monitors that I use for listening, but I do also have headphones that I wear on occasion, depending on what mood I'm feeling at the time. Um, and that's about it for my audio. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is just some of the other things that I just absolutely love and feel like they really help the flow of things with my production. And the first is the Stream Deck. It's also by Elgato. This is the XL version, so it's got 32 keys, and you can easily switch between profiles. So this is the profile that we use for our production. And then switching up the profile, I can switch it to this, which is all of my camera scenes that I have set up for tonight. But this is definitely something that I would say if you can get it, they make a small 15 key version. Get that if you can. Um, and a couple other things I just want to point out. Uh, if you are connecting multiple cameras, oops, I just throw that right on the desk. Um, if you're connecting multiple cameras to your stream that are not USB, so my Logitech, my Insta360, they're USB. If you're connecting multiple DSLRs, you're going to want a video capture card. This is the HD60S Plus. I use two of these when I have other cameras connected. They also make a Cam Link, which is, it looks more like a USB stick instead. And AverMedia actually makes a capture card as well. All of them will do 4K. Um, Kevin, I just saw your question about audio. Um, None of my audio is USB. My mic is an XLR mic. And so that's why it runs through my Rodecaster, which is an audio interface for XLR microphones. Um,
And
but
does the Rodecaster then plug into your computer through via USB
USB
to
C. Yep.
convert all of that?
Yes, USB C. Um, a couple of the other things that I just love, like my Logitech mouse. I've got my SteelSeries keyboard that just is like, I just love it because it's a mechanical keyboard and I love the sound of it. And I'm just such a geek, I can't help it. Um, but yeah, I guess my my parting gift is this. If you can find ways to incorporate you into whatever space you are streaming from, that is more important than any piece of lighting, any piece of video gear, any piece of audio gear that you can get your hands on. Start with who you are and then build from there. I knew I wanted a bright, happy area, so I filled it with lights. You don't have to fill it with lights if that's not who you are. Um, and I think with that being said, I think I've touched on more than we bargained for tonight. So, um, yeah, I definitely, one of the things that I started doing actually with my many uh, websites that I have are I decided to just put out a list of studio gear on one of the sites, and it's got links to everything. So I can actually drop that uh, into the comments after the stream so people can take a look at what I've got and decide, maybe some of it's for you, maybe some of it's not. Totally up to you. So I know that was a lot to take in, guys. And with that being said, I get to now be off the hook because I'm going to kick it right on over to all of you because we thrive here at C3 on sharing ways that we connect. And it is very, very important for us to connect with each other via video, via audio, and connect with our audiences. So I'm really excited to hear what both of you have to say about your own studio build journeys, and then maybe about something that you saw here tonight. And we are going to kick it off with you, Manny.
Well, I knew I was going to learn something new. I knew for sure that I was going to have some good ideas on things that I could put into implementation. With number one, I've been wanting to do something you've been recommending for a while, and that's the hair light. I need to get that done. That's one. Another thing that I've always loved was all that lighting in the background, and now I got a chance to really get up close and personal with it to have a better idea. Like, oh, okay, I see how she's putting each of those colors into those spots. You know, you that's those things is like, okay, that helped my creative juices. Like, okay, if I wanted to put more color, I just needed more lights with different colors on it, because I have like these things here and something here, I don't even know, but I have a lot of light, but I don't have it as organized as well as you yourself have. um but let me share this at the same time, that though I feel like I can't match up to what you bring with your nice, awesome looking background, I love the way my area has grown in itself. Where, at first it was one monitor, and then two monitors, and then three, where I can be so much more organized and productive while I'm producing these shows, and having different things on while I'm producing the shows. So it's like, just start somewhere. That's why I love when you were saying that. Just start somewhere, and don't let it stop you from, like, oh my God, I need to be perfect and professional and have everything so right. Because if it's one thing I know, I know too well, I'm almost embarrassed to admit it, about not doing it right, not doing it super organized, but working on progressing.
Mhm.
Like, I'm a champ at that.
100%. I am in total agreement with you. Total agreement.
what do you, what about you, Kevin? What do you think?
Totally agree with you that everybody's journey is an individual journey. You cannot copy Dory's setup to be yours. You have to do what's your own personality, what's your design, what screams out to you in terms of what you want to have for a background, how you want to do it. Maybe you're comfortable with just with having a green screen to be able to change the images. But if you want to have color in behind you, you want to have some shells and show off some of your racquetball, some of your cycling, that sort of thing as part of your personality, that is entirely possible. But it's what you need to do for you. And I've really taken that to heart throughout the years as well, because I started with just a plain background. Like I bought on Amazon just like a wood panel background, and was up against that for so long, and then changed it to a brick background
Mhm.
and decided, that's just kind of boring. It's just one solid thing. So starting to put shelves and objects that sort of reflect your personality does help engage your audience as well, because they are discussion points for you to discuss. Um, the setup that I have, I kind of am trying to make it as automated as possible. That I do have everything hooked up to my smart speaker. I won't say the name for fear of it going off, and having commands to turn everything off. So, like Dory said, you walk into the room, you say the command, and boom, everything turns on. One of the things that I have sort of hacked in the ones that don't have apps and cannot connect to a smart speaker is using a Wi-Fi power bar and plugging those devices into there and having them permanently turned on so that you can actually hook the Wi-Fi power bar. That app actually connects to your smart speaker system, so that it actually will turn your devices on and off. So, and same with you, Manny. Just piece by piece, you find something that, hey, this is going to make my job that much easier. So, being able to see the behind the scenes of Dory's layout definitely got some ideas. Like, I love that low profile arm for the microphone, because I have a boom. I have an arm on a Varipole in front of me going down in front. And I would like to have something sort of in front of me for my microphone. So definitely considering a low profile arm in terms of the design of that. But yeah, just the where you have all of your lighting uh, definitely was an eye opener for you or for me. You say you go with a 4-point light, and I don't know, does a monitor that has a lot of white and shining on your front face count as lighting?
It could.
Probably a little bit.
It absolutely could. You can tell,
Because
like
that
when I'm watching streams, you can tell when people change what's on their monitor from like a dark website to a brighter one. It definitely brings a lot more light to their face, for sure.
Because yeah, technically I'm a 3-point light, but if I have that white, uh, the light mode of everything in front of me, it becomes a 4-point lighting system then. So awesome job, Dory. Absolutely loved what you were able to show us, some of the tricks and some of the equipment that you have. And I love the idea of us sharing what tech equipment that we have, and perhaps we could even make some links in our Linktree app to show what each of us have for equipment. So I'll just throw that out
Absolutely.
there.
I love that
That's a great
idea.
idea.
I think it's a great idea as well. Well, I think we've gone through all of the comments. And so, with that being said, drum roll.
My friends, if you enjoy content like this, and let me tell you, Dory really dove deep into her comfort zone and what brings out her, the way her personality. I love how personality came up a few times, and that's where I feel you matched your personality perfectly. If this is the type of stuff you like, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. And here is the truth. When you click on that like because you got some value, that's telling YouTube there's value here. Show it to more people. And when you hit subscribe, the big part, if you want to get notified, is that you hit that notification bell because sometimes YouTube doesn't always show, like, hey, they're live or whatever. You won't always get that notification. So try to click on that all to make sure you get all of those notifications. And remember, sharing our content is another great way to spread the love. And visit our website and information on for all the information, all the ways through our Linktree /content creators connect. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
And we actually love hearing from you, whether it be in the comments of our live videos or else in our Facebook group as well. We want to hear what you want to learn about, what you want to hear. I definitely want to see Manny's setup and am very curious to get a behind the scenes of what he has going on. So, looking forward to that sometime down the road. So, let us know what you want to see, and we will follow up and get it organized for you.
And with that being said, we want to say thank you for joining Content Creators Connect, aka C3, tonight as we took a look at the behind the scenes of the DSpence geekdom. We return next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where Kevin, that guy right up there, will be demoing more free apps for your live streaming journey. We will be multicasting live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, so be sure to join us. Until then, we urge you to identify and lean in to your 3Cs. Start today creating unique content that builds connections and breaks down those barriers. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.